So, I do have a bit of time, and I need to be arranging something. But while I'm doing so, I'm willing to talk about certain things and some things. And I thought, well, let's combine it and let's be pretty efficient and let's do things just because I'm often also talking to myself. As weird and as strange as it might sound, but it is what it is. So today I really made sure that I do a bit more work so that I potentially don't have to do as much tomorrow. Because tomorrow is going to be my first day working my new job-ish thing. Or newish job, let's put it like that. Kind of the same organization, but it's something different. Still excited to some degree, and I wanted to make sure that I'm having more time than usual, and I still have quite a bunch of time left, and so I thought, well, let's be even more efficient with it and do some things. I also then have to actually tidy up my room. It looks like shit in here. It's insane. Anyway, so I need to buy a ticket for the train tomorrow, and something to actually make sure is that one gets the best deal, and sometimes getting the best deal involves some time, which is a pity, I know, but it is what it is. And we shouldn't buy for convenience, well, we shouldn't pay for convenience, I must say. Because we often do, which is unfortunate, really unfortunate. Like how should I say? I mean, also cutthroat, which normally are more expensive, or usually are more expensive, and so on and so forth. Like there's many occasions where we just buy for the convenience, and well, actually pay for the convenience, and yeah, which is a pretty fucked up thing, because why do we? So we need to make sure that we are not doing so. Could I get a two-way ticket as well? This is the question. This is the question right now. So what do I have to pay for it? FFP2 mask is required. Yeah, thanks. So $150, which makes it $3 per day, which annoys me, to be honest. It's not that much, don't get me wrong, but it is enough to piss me off. Quite. But yeah, it is what it is. One can't do much about it, I think, and so it is what it is. I'll have to take the 6 in the morning. Well, what if I do this? But it's also the wrong way. Fuck. Like this. Well, a thing is, could also take this one. Do not pay for convenience. It's a shitty thing. And also something that I don't understand is the same not the same direction, but the opposite direction, but the same length of a ride, the same train actually as well, but it is 10 cents cheaper from one direction to the other compared to the other to the one. If you get what I mean, maybe not really, but yeah. More services. Well, this doesn't make any sense as well. What if I picked this one? Best price. Yeah, I get it, but I don't understand why it doesn't make any sense. Anyway, though I'm willing to give you something, not talk for the sake of talking, Why would I? If you're distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this is what? And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. which is a quote by Marcus Aurelius, and this kind of explains something that I've never quite understood and was never quite able to understand, which is, which is, okay, saying when you have been harmed, then you have only been harmed when you think that you have. Which, if you think about it, is complete nonsense and complete bullshit, utterly. Because why? Why does this make any sense? But it kind of does, if you think about it. As strange as it might be, and so on and so forth. But, well, I mean, if you don't believe that something happened to you, then it didn't also happen to you. So, for example, when somebody says something to you, then, you might not be affected by that at all. But maybe somebody else, maybe your brother or your sister or somebody that you know might be just heavily affected by that. When somebody said the exact same thing to him or her or whatever. Even though it's the exact same thing. And so it is basically up to us. It is up to us when it comes to deciding whether something is hurting us or not, or something is making us happy or not, and how we see things and so on and so forth. Like, when somebody does something good to you, then, one could be kind of, I just thought I picked the wrong date, but I didn't. Well, I could do that. Could also do this. Let's do it like that. Worked the last time. It is really interesting. It really indeed is interesting. But it's also just really strange. Like, why are we in so much control, but a lot of people don't realize? You know what I mean? But it is insane. And it can be applied to quite everything. And when I mean everything, I mean everything. Everything that is kind of happening to you. Then, is it the right one? Should be. Yes. It is fine. And so I always have to have a ticket for the other way. Let's do that as well. Such a fucked up thing. It is insane. It is so much power and so much strength that we all have, and power is in the sense of being able to make our life a lot better and a lot different, and amazing, just amazing. No man is free who is not master of himself, by Epictetus. One could argue about that. Freedom is one of these things that I think we're always going to be talking about, and we're always going to be debating about and shit. But yeah, it is what it is. I don't have one today, but tomorrow, and it is gonna be from this point on, probably. Well, it's actually this point on. It is just powerful. It is insane what we all can do. If you aren't in the moment, you're either looking forward to uncertainty or back to pain and regret. By Jim Carrey, I think. And yes, it's the truth. When you're in the present, or when we are in the present, we very, very rarely, we indeed very rarely feel pain mentally. Of course, unless we're ill. And, there is many instances where this might not be true. But I know that you understand what I mean. And so it's interesting, But we unfortunately are often living in the past due to whatever reason, to be honest. I don't understand myself why I'm actually often also doing so. being in the past, thinking about certain things, thinking about certain people, certain moments in my life that at this time seemed very important and staggering and tremendously whatever, but at this point I think about them as some things that just happened. And it is what it is, they just happened. And now it is really unimportant, which, might actually be also the case for certain things that I'm experiencing right now or that I'm going to experience tomorrow. There's quite a lot of things that I, sometimes say or do or whatnot that I'm not necessarily the proudest of then. But yeah, it is what it is. And things are going to be good in the end. And, they will always be. Things are always going to be quite fine. It depends on how we think about things, obviously. And a ton of other things. Is there something wrong here? Well, maybe. No, it's not. But yeah, let's see. Another one. It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinions than our own. Which is something that ceases to amaze me as well. It's insane. It is. The value that we are putting on other people's opinions, or putting in other people's opinions, therefore. Insane. Just insane. There's no better word than just insane. But it is what it is. One could be complaining about that, could be pissed about that, or whatnot, but doesn't make anything better as well. So why would you kind of think more about that than you should? There's a Marcus Aurelius quote, and next to the quote there's Seneca. Amazing. You always own the opinion of having no opinion. There's never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul about things you can't control. These things are not asking to be judged by you. Leave them alone. I think it certainly makes sense to think about the things that you're thinking about. And when it makes sense to think about them, be concerned about them, being overly, overly indulging this thought. Does it make sense? And asking oneself, does it make sense? Sometimes, for sure, it makes sense. And it is a good thing to be concerned and whatnot. There is a certain reason why we have emotions, It is something natural. And which is, by the way, also something that the Stoics do often emphasize and underline and point out and say that we should live according to nature. And our nature is having feelings and whatnot, but having them doesn't mean to always feel them. As you are not always feeling hungry, you shouldn't always be concerned. Of course, there are certain moments in which you should be concerned, and certain moments where it just makes sense to be concerned or angry, happy, sad, and whatnot. But all the time, doesn't make too much sense. Anyway, gonna end the episode there. See you soon. Bye bye.